Hello family, welcome back to another video. I hope y'all are taking care of yourself, hope y'all are being healthy, and I just really wanted to touch on a subject that I have been going back and forth with myself about for about a week now. And I don't really like thinking on one thing for so long of my life, like a week. Are you serious? That's so long to go back and forth about a thought. I find it more efficient and ethical to just make a decision instead of just thinking so long about things. It's not even such a pivotal moment. It's just things that have been going back and forth in my mind. And it's kind of random because I haven't really thought about this subject for a little bit now. So it's like, okay, why is it coming up now? My explanation for that is that because different levels, new devils, I'm doing better in life, definitely. But today's subject is sobriety. My sobriety. So I don't really like to tell people this. Not really like to, it's just not a subject that has been brought up, but I've been sober for quite some time. And let me define sober. I'm talking about sober in Christ, meaning, no drugs, no alcohol, that too, but also sober from jealousy, envy, comparison, sober from thinking pessimistically or speaking negatively against myself. Different standards of life. I've been completely sober coming up I'm about to hit half a year, which is crazy. Like, it's definitely like something that you have to put an intention for each day. But yeah, coming up 6 months. And it all started from a breakup. And like during that breakup, I just could not be sober. I don't know why. I don't know what it was. I just could not. And we could go on a whole rant about, oh my gosh, I'm gonna diss my ex type. But honestly, I forgave them, and it's just, there's no point. It's really not. But right after that relationship, just like that, I was able to be sober. So maybe it was them, maybe it was my state of mind during that time, but I've been sober since then. So it's really a confusing period of time for me to have to go back and forth about this thought. Not that I'm gonna break my sobriety, but going back and forth about it is so random. I feel like the hardest part about being sober is like your life isn't gonna get easier because you're not drinking. It's not gonna get easier because you're not smoking or you're not doing this or that. Life is still gonna life in every moment. And you have to realize that it is your job to change your mindset every time. And that gets really tiring. Like, no matter what, you try to do what's best for yourself, and life is still throwing knives at you constantly. It gets very tiring, definitely. But yet, after you get tired, you still have to be the one to pour more energy into yourself so you get back up and you cannot, sit in your tiredness for so long of your life. You have to move on. You have to understand attachment. You just have to be the observer, basically. Removing yourself from the situation without a drug, without a drink, without a vice. Vices meaning maybe sex. Vices meaning maybe Some people chase adrenaline, vices. I don't know. There's a lot more, but living a life without vices. I am so proud of myself for the standard in life that I've created for myself, definitely. I'm beyond proud of myself. You know, I'm so proud of myself. And this is something that I hold so dearly to my heart that I would never let go. Even to hold this standard for my life, I have cut a lot of associations with people who maybe have a different standard in life. Not to judge them because they're walking a different path than I am, but to understand that surrounding myself around them is damaging or is influencing to my path. I'm not the most easily influenced person in the world, but I am human at the end of the day. So, whatever it says in the Bible, whatever you see or you're allowed to go into your eye, eventually you start to be influenced by it, or maybe you see it as flattering at some point. So you really have to watch the things that you hear, watch the things that you see, and watch the things that you consume, because it all skews or changes your reality. By that, I mean that I cut ties with a lot of shows, cut ties with a lot of people, whether that be family members, even church members. Yeah. As you walk this path, you just start cutting things out. And like I said, I'm not going to say that I am just the most peaceful person in the whole entire world. Comparing myself to me, I am happier than I was. Because even when I was in that dark path, going down the wrong road, associating myself with the wrong people, life was still lifing, I still, had schoolwork that I didn't understand. Life still lived, So my life wasn't easier with the substances, and it's not easier without it. In fact, physically, I am growing and I'm being successful in a lot of things that I'm doing. But now the warfare hits different. I am stronger than I've ever been in my entire life. But the warfare hits different. Like the enemy is going to attack like weak points in your armor. That's the only way I can put it. It's going to study you with monitoring spirits, and try to attack you in weak points. So that's why I advise y'all to keep a lot of things private. I'm making this video about my sobriety because, like I said, this has been a week-long rebuttal. So I got that piece of my armor down packed. So to be able to make this video, I wouldn't make a video about a weak point of myself. Like, come on. I'm smarter than it. But yeah, it definitely does not make life easier. But I'm chasing authentic dopamine, real dopamine. So everything that's happened in my life is deserved. I deserve this. And, well, different lessons that I'm learning. I have to get through it. I've always had to get through these lessons for most of my life. So I'm not going to say that I'm being attacked by the enemy. I'm covered, But still, I pave on. I recommend sobriety if... Okay, let me explain this. Why I recommend sobriety. One, because the fake dopamine. If you feel like you're trapped in a situation, and instead of using that energy to that chase of happiness that you do when you drink or you smoke, instead of using that energy to find a solution to get yourself out, and that's the lesson that it's trying to teach you. The reason why you feel so stuck is because your soul wants you to get out. It doesn't want you to drink. It doesn't want you to smoke. That does nothing for you. The problem is still going to be there after. So what you're doing is you're directly cutting out that repeating of the cycle. Like, you hate your job, but you work it all week, and then you drink on the weekends. The next week you have the job again. So instead of drinking on the weekends, you completely cut that out and you go through the suffering. It's gonna hurt. That's what life is. You have to go through suffering. That's life. But you spend the weekends creating business models, networking, doing different things to get out of your job. And eventually, every weekend you're learning something different. Every weekend you're tweaking something different. And boom, you are closer and closer to breaking that loop, instead of just drinking every weekend. And when you're 40 years old, you look back and you've spent 20 years with a company that you never liked. That's what I'm saying. I'm directly cutting it out, and I'm breaking cycles. I'm breaking cycles the first time. I'm learning the lessons the first time so I can just move on. Because once you look back, you realize that different things, once you've broken a cycle, if you've gone out of an era in your life, you look back and you realize, if I didn't do that and I just broke it the first time, I could be here at a younger age. Because life is still gonna life the same way it lives. You still have lessons that you have to get through in life. It's gonna be the same lessons. So regardless if you're procrastinating to get there or if you're not, it's still gonna be there for you to learn, and you're gonna have to learn it. So yeah, sobriety is beautiful. It's the deepest connection that I've ever had with myself and God. I feel kind of like I have superpowers. And you really do need superpowers to get through this life. So again, hope y'all are having a great day, family. Take care of yourself, and bye.